All right, so for my interview, I actually interviewed a para who works with the student that I am observing. Her name is Katie Cole. She works at Endeavor with me. And she doesn't work with me. She is in the mod severe class. I'm RSP, but I interviewed her. And I was able to observe this student during lunch and how he was interacting with others during lunch. So the student that I am currently observing is a student who is currently placed in a mod severe special day class. He qualifies for special education services under autism and speech language impairment. He currently has very limited communication abilities. Instead of communicating his wants or his needs, he will often get frustrated, according to the parent, and throw a tantrum. Um, he has a goal in his IEP that he will use effective means of communicating, verbal, speech, icons, gestures, etc., to identify wants and needs with 80% accuracy without prompting, as measured by speech pathologists' charted observation data in 2 out of 3 speech therapy sessions, as measured by Luckett. And the speech language pathologist who referred me to the student, she is particularly concerned with if he's actually advocating for his wants or if the paras are modeling it for him and he's just copying them because his echolalia is so severe. So when I was speaking to the para, she said that the tantrums are occurring pretty frequently. When he wants something, he doesn't know how to communicate, and so he'll get up and start stamping his feet, or he'll hit the desks, things like that. And she says it happens probably daily, maybe a few times a day. So the function of the target behavior is to achieve a need from the tantrum. The goal is to replace the behavior with like emotion. He is able to sign or a card or a word because he does have some verbal abilities that will identify what he wants prior to frustration or a tantrum. She says that so anyways, sorry, I lost my place on my script. So currently the student has an iPad where it has Proloquo, which is basically like a program where it has the cards on the iPad and the student is given some cards and tries to communicate with the cards. And she says that right now what he does if he really wants something is sometimes he'll come and he'll push her arm in a way to get her to give him something. But she says typically when she feels that he's just more copying her when she makes the sign for something that he wants, or if she says something, he'll repeat it, and then they'll give it to him. But again, that's only partially completing the goal, and he's still continuing with the tantrums. So anyway, so I have a few ideas on what could possibly be done and included in my functional behavioral assessment. So reinforcements that I feel would be beneficial for the student would be positive reinforcement whenever he advocates for a need instead of a tantrum. I feel like extinction might be beneficial because currently when he's throwing a tantrum, everybody's rushing over and trying to meet his needs and guess his needs or wants or give him some kind of like verbal clue to what he wants instead of giving him the opportunity to think and advocate for himself. So he throws the tantrum, somebody rushes over and tries to figure it out by giving him some choices or modeling some kind of asking, which can be beneficial for some students, but for this one the behavior is continuing to go. So effective interventions that I feel would be effective would be a gradual plan with built-in objects. So first the student could maybe be presented with limited choices, and this would be prior to tantrum. So give him 2 cards and then he could pick one or the other. and then whatever he picks, you give it to him, whether he likes it or not. You give it to him, and try and get him to get that cognitive awareness that the cards mean something. Um, and then eventually more choices could be added as he develops cognitive awareness of what's the purpose of those. Um, and then, like, as far as extinction, like, once that is figured out, I would start including extinction into the plan. So I would start, like, maybe withholding an object to kind of force him to tell us that's what he wants. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, so that's the ideas so far that I have, but we'll have to see with further observations at this point. It was interesting to observe this student at lunch because he doesn't currently interact with the other kids. He's a very good eater, so he was eating everything on his plate. And at one point, the para was like, "Oh, well, he likes more," and she went up to him and she said she made a sign for more, and he copied it and said more, and she gave him more food. So I thought that was interesting, and again, it goes along with, he's not really advocating for himself. Somebody is basically telling him what to say. And he says it, and he gets. So anyway, interesting. All right, that's it. God, I hate this. Oh, dang it.